Welcome back to the class. So let's begin next topic, properties of concentrated sulfuric acid. Before we have done properties of dilute sulfuric acid, so now we will start concentrated sulfuric acid. First property is non-volatile acid. What is the meaning of non-volatile and volatile? Non-volatile means at room temperature it does not changes into vapor because its boiling point is very high, that is 338. So it does not change into vapor form at room temperature, that's why it is called non-volatile acid. And it is used to prepare volatile acids such as HNO3, HCl and acetic acid. It is used to prepare, these are volatile acid, changes to vapor at room temperature. So it is used to prepare, we can take one example from this HNO3 we can take. Prepare HNO3 from sulfuric acid. And what reactant we can take? Here nitrate group should be there, potassium nitrate we shall take, and temperature should be below 200 degree Celsius. Now the side product will be, one is HNO3, HNO3 and another product will be K2SO4 and balance it. Next you can also prepare acetic acid, HCl, prepare HCl from sodium chloride, NaCl plus H2SO4, temperature should be below 200 degrees Celsius, and next Na2SO4 will be the side product and balance it. Now it is a balance. So like this you can prepare HNO3 from sodium nitrate also and HCl from KCl also, potassium chloride also. So this is a non-volatile property. The question can be asked, give a reaction of sulfuric acid, chemical equation of sulfuric acid which shows the non-volatile nature of a concentrated sulfuric acid. So you can give any one reaction from these written reaction on page number 177. At top it is given. Next property is oxidizing agent. For dilute acid, they can also ask, give a reaction chemical equation or example by which the property of dilute sulfuric acid is shown, and the property is acid property of dilute sulfuric acid is shown. So you can give any reaction which we have done before in case of dilute sulfuric acid, like reaction of metal with the sulfuric acid, neutralization reaction like this you can give in case of dilute sulfuric acid. And next one is oxidizing agent. Sulfuric acid is oxidizing agent. Why it is oxidizing agent? Because when it decompose on heating, that is called thermal decomposition. It gives nascent oxygen in water plus sulfur dioxide. This nascent oxygen is responsible for the oxidizing nature of sulfuric acid, and reaction with non-metals, carbon and sulfur, H2SO4, these are non-metals, carbon and sulfur, and sulfuric acid will oxidize carbon into carbon dioxide, and this will be the side product. Next is balance it. You can balance by writing here 2, here also 2, sulfur 2. Now it is balance. Very important question. Write the reaction of concentrated sulfuric acid with carbon. So it is very clear, carbon will turn into carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide is the product next, and water. Next, in case of sulfur, sulfuric acid will oxidize sulfur into sulfur dioxide and water, and balance this equations. Here 2, here 3, here 2, 4, then 2 sulfur plus 1, 3, yes it is balance. Both are very important reaction. Further, reaction of sulfuric acid with metals and inorganic compounds are given. Go through from these two parts by yourself. Next one is sulfur dioxide. is reducing as well as oxidizing agent. Question is, name a gas which acts as reducing as well as oxidizing agent, and the answer is sulfur dioxide. This is a reducing as well as oxidizing agent. Next one is sulfur dioxide. It is a temporary bleaching agent. Now temporary bleaching agent means bleaching means remove the color from material. Temporary means for time being it can remove the color. If the color is removed by sulfur dioxide from any material, then it will become colorless, and when the that colorless material is kept in the atmosphere, then again that colorless material will gain color. That's why sulfur dioxide is a temporary bleaching agent. Why it is temporary bleaching agent? Because in the presence of moisture, it gives a nascent hydrogen that is responsible for the bleaching agent, and name the permanent bleaching agent. Which gas acts as a permanent bleaching agent? And the gas is chlorine gas acts as a permanent bleaching agent. Next one is dehydrating agent. Next property is dehydrating property of sulfuric acid. Dehydrating property. Third one, dehydrating agent. Now dehydrating, D means removal. Hydrating means of water. Sulfuric acid can remove water from other substances. Therefore, it is called dehydrating agent. Example, copper sulfate pentahydrate. Its color is blue. On the addition of concentrated sulfuric acid, it will change into copper sulfate anhydrous. Color will become white, dirty white, and there is 5 water molecules. These 5 water molecules will be removed from copper sulfate, and the color from blue to white. I will give you one demonstration. See that one. This is here copper sulfate pentahydrate. Its color is blue. Okay. When I will add sulfuric acid in it, few drops of sulfuric acid, it will change. See that the color will start changing into white. It will take time. It will start fading, and at the end it will change into white. See, now the color is bit fades. Okay, so this one after some time it will turn into like this white shade. So this is here, this one copper sulfate pentahydrate, and this one is after addition of sulfuric acid. It will see the change between these. Okay, so why it becomes white? Because it is now copper sulfate only. The water molecules are removed by sulfuric acid. So it is a dehydrating agent. Another one is next, removal of water from the sugar. When sugar, you can take glucose C6H12O6. When concentrated sulfuric acid is added, and C12H22O11. Cane sugar. This is cane sugar. This is glucose, and products will be same. It will change into carbon plus water. This is also carbon plus water, and balance it 12, and here will be 11, and here 6 and 6. Yes. So what will left after the addition of concentrated sulfuric acid? Only black spongy mass of a carbon is left. That also I will give you one demonstration. Sugar, in the sugar when we pour sulfuric acid, what happens? In watch glass we have taken crystals of sugar. When we add sulfuric acid to it, few drops of sulfuric acid, Then after some times, again we will keep, then you can see the change. After some times, it will give you black spongy mass like this. Okay, these sugar crystals will change into this black spongy mass like this. So next one is, why this turns into black? Because this sugar is charged by the concentrated sulfuric acid. Charge means burn. Sugar is burned and water molecules are given out, and what is left? Only carbon, black colored carbon is left. Next, similarly, organic acid reaction is also given in the book. One thing more, sulfuric acid when react to our skin, it causes blisters and it chars our skin. Why? Because chars our skin means skin turns black. Why? Because there is moisture in our skin that is given out in the atmosphere and our skin turns into black. Next thing is difference between dilute and concentrated sulfuric acid. Now what is the difference? Difference is dilute, one difference already we have done, dilute and concentrated. Dilute H2SO4 and concentrated H2SO4. This conducts electricity because it ionizes in the presence of water, does not conduct electricity as it does not ionizes. This one ionizes, therefore strong acid, this is a weak acid. Next is cannot oxidize, it is not oxidizing agent, this one is oxidizing agent. Next, dilute sulfuric acid cannot be used as a drying agent, but concentrated sulfuric acid is used as a drying agent. Very important difference given on page number 78. What is the difference between dilute and concentrated sulfuric acid? So do it from that. Next one is preparation of insoluble sulfates. We can also prepare insoluble sulfate from sulfuric acid. Insoluble sulfate like lead sulfate, PbSO4. From prepare lead sulfate, question will be like prepare lead sulfate from sulfuric acid. So what is the next compound you can take here? Lead nitrate. It will give lead sulfate, and what is left here? Nitric acid, HNO3. 2 times HNO3 is left, and this is here insoluble. One more is given, example barium sulfate is also given. So prepare insoluble sulfate from sulfuric acid, like this question will be there, or prepare lead sulfate from sulfuric acid. That will be the answer will be here. Write the reaction, chemical equation, balanced chemical equation. Next uses of sulfuric acid are there. Please go through from those uses by yourself, and only one I am going to explain, that is pickling of metals. Pickling means to remove impurities from the, for example, this is your metal surface. To remove impurities from the metal surface is called pickling of metals. Now sulfuric acid, it can remove oxides or carbonate from the metal surface. When we pour sulfuric acid on the metal surface, it can remove oxides, carbonates from the metal surface. Means these are impurities on the surface. Sulfuric acid can remove. This whole process is called pickling of metals. Next one is test for sulfuric acid. How we can test the given acid is sulfuric acid or not? That we can do with the help of some other reagents. For example, now we are going to do test. How we can test the presence of sulfuric acid? Test of sulfuric acid. The first one is we can use barium chloride, BaCl2, because when it reacts with the sulfuric acid, it forms barium sulfate, BaSO4 plus HCl acid 2 times. Now the color of precipitate you can see, it is a white colored precipitates are formed. So if you want to check the presence of sulfuric acid, just pour few drops of barium chloride into the acid. This is a barium chloride. If I add few drops of sulfuric acid into the barium chloride, you will see the white colored precipitates of barium sulfate. You will see that. See, okay, white colored precipitates are formed. So this is, by this way we can check this one, the given acid is, you can see it is colorless, and after reaction it gives white precipitate. So the given acid is our sulfuric acid. And next one is, these white barium sulfate precipitates are insoluble, but when we take barium sulfite, if instead of barium, the difference, how we can check the difference, white color precipitate of sulfate and barium sulfite. Now both are white. How can you distinguish whether it is barium sulfate or barium sulfite? This also we have to check. Now barium sulfate, it is, but barium sulfite precipitate dissolves. Barium sulfite dissolves in mineral acids such as nitric acid, hydrochloric acid, but barium sulfate, this is insoluble. This is insoluble precipitate. So this way we can test the presence of sulfuric acid. And the next one is, it can also be checked with the help of copper metal, H2SO4, then copper sulfate plus sulfur dioxide and water. Now this sulfur dioxide turns acidified potassium dichromate solution green. When you pass this gas through the potassium acidified solution, then that solution will turn green. So this is another test for the sulfuric acid. And the last topic is the concentrated sulfuric acid. When it reacts NaCl react with H2SO4 on heating, that is below 200 degree, then it gives SO4, it gives HCl gas, this HCl gas. When you pass the gas, given out gas, through the ammonia solution, ammonium hydroxide solution, and H4 plus OH, when you pass through ammonia solution, then it will give you white fumes of ammonium chloride. White fumes are seen. So you are very much familiar with this reaction. When this gas is passed through the ammonia solution, you will observe white fumes of ammonium chloride, dense white fumes. So this is the another test. So total 3 tests we have done. And equation they can also ask, plus what do you observe and how can you check the presence of sulfuric acid. Such kind of questions can be formed from these topics. So prepare internal questions also and go through from the chapter thoroughly and try to solve yearly question given in exercise 11. Only one exercise is there. So solve exercise 11 on page number given on 179 page number and learn it thoroughly. This is all about 11th chapter. Thank you.